Sometimes the biggest moments in life come when no one is ready. A wedding in Heartland that nobody saw coming, and it all begins here. Camera sweeps across the golden fields of Heartland. Horses run freely, their hooves pounding against the earth like a drumbeat of fate. The ranch looks peaceful, but underneath that calm, something is stirring. A storm of emotions is waiting to break loose. The voiceover speaks softly at first, almost like a secret being whispered to the audience. For years, Heartland has been a place where family stands together through heartbreak, through love, and through loss. But this season, one decision will shake everything. One choice will divide the ranch, and one wedding will change the future forever. The music starts gently, carrying notes of nostalgia, but it slowly builds tension. The shots flash back to older memories. Amy holding her horse close, Lou smiling with her family, Jack sitting silently with his hat pulled low as if carrying the weight of generations. The narration pulls the audience deeper. Heartland has always been about finding the strength to carry on. But now, strength may not be enough. Not when the heart wants something different from what the family expects. Not when love arrives in a form that no one was prepared to accept. We see glimpses, a hand reaching out across a fence, a horse neighing loudly in the distance, a door closing as if ending an old chapter. The trailer doesn't show faces yet. It focuses on emotion, on hands clenching, on shadows falling across the barn. Every shot makes the audience lean closer, wondering what could possibly lead to a wedding that no one expected. The narration deepens, with more intensity. What happens when love breaks the rules of tradition? When a bond forms in silence away from the eyes of the family? When the truth is finally revealed, will Heartland welcome it, or will it fall apart? The music grows louder. There's a flash of wedding flowers being arranged in secret, a glimpse of a white dress hanging alone in a quiet room, and a set of rings placed carefully on a table. Then, the ranch bells ring, not for an ordinary day, but for something much bigger. The voiceover concludes Section 1 with a chilling promise. This is not the wedding anyone planned. This is not the wedding anyone wanted. But it is the wedding that no one will ever forget. The screen fades to black for just a second, leaving the audience breathless, waiting for the conflict to unfold. The day begins like any other in Heartland, but the air feels different. The sky hangs heavy, clouds drifting low as if they too sense what's about to happen. Horses kick nervously in the paddock, their restlessness echoing the emotions inside the ranch house. A voiceover breaks the silence. At Heartland, nothing stays hidden for long. Secrets have a way of rising to the surface, and when they do, they don't come quietly. Inside the barn, Jack leans on a wooden post, staring out into the fields. His face carries years of wisdom and worry. He senses something is wrong, but he doesn't say a word. The trailer doesn't show his eyes, only his hands gripping tighter, the weight of generations pressing down on him. The narration sharpens. This family has survived grief. They've survived heartbreak. But can they survive a choice that threatens to tear them apart? Quick flashes fill the screen. Amy brushing her horse, her movements sharp, distracted. Lou pacing near the kitchen table, her phone buzzing with unanswered calls. Tim riding hard across the field, the sound of the wind drowning out his thoughts. Then a sudden line of dialogue breaks through. This isn't how it's supposed to happen. The voice is firm, almost broken. It echoes like thunder. The trailer cuts to a close-up of a hand dropping a glass of water on the counter, the liquid spilling across the surface like a spreading secret. Another voice follows. Are you sure about this? The tone is heavy, carrying doubt, fear, and maybe even betrayal. The tension builds with sharper images, a door slamming shut, a pair of boots stomping across the porch, horses rearing in the paddock startled by an unseen force. The voiceover grows more dramatic. When family doesn't agree, when trust is broken, the heart must decide its own path. But at what cost? The audience is pulled deeper into the conflict. The screen shows Amy standing alone in the barn, her breathing unsteady. The light falls on her like a spotlight, while shadows stretch behind her. She looks torn between duty and love, though her face is hidden. Lou is next. Her voice shakes as she whispers, "If this goes wrong, we may never come back from it." The screen cuts to black right after her words, leaving the weight of silence. Then, faint wedding bells ring in the distance. Not clear, not cheerful, haunting like a warning. A montage follows quickly, white flowers tied in ribbons falling to the ground. A torn piece of paper with names crossed out. A horse galloping into the night, its rider unseen. The narration sharpens again. Heartland has always been about family. But sometimes family isn't enough. Sometimes the heart takes a turn that no one expects, and no one is ready to accept. As the music rises to a tense crescendo, the screen shows a single shocking image. A wedding invitation, lying on the kitchen table, the ink still wet. The camera zooms in slowly. The names are blurred, keeping the mystery alive. But the audience knows this isn't just any wedding. It's the one that will set Heartland ablaze. The screen fades to darkness once more, ending section 2 with a chilling whisper. The sound of a horse neighing pierces the silence. The camera moves slowly through Heartland, passing the barn, the stables, and the open fields. But something is different today. Ribbons of white hang from the old oak tree. Chairs are lined up in the field, their wooden legs sinking slightly into the grass. It looks like a celebration, yet the air feels heavy, tense, as if the land itself knows this moment does not belong. A voiceover whispers, "Weddings are meant to bring families together, but this one may tear them apart." The camera doesn't show faces, only fragments of emotion, a trembling hand smoothing the edge of a white gown, a bouquet of flowers falling to the ground, a ring box snapping shut in the shadows. The audience is left guessing, whose wedding is this? Who could it possibly be? Jack's boots are seen walking across the porch. His steps are slow, heavy. He stops at the doorway, gripping the frame as if bracing himself for what he's about to witness. His silence says everything. Then a voice breaks the tension. Soft, uncertain, but filled with finality. It's too late to stop this now. The music swells, pulling the audience deeper into suspense. The ranch, usually alive with chatter and comfort, is quiet. Only whispers float through the halls. Amy walks across the yard, her shadow stretching long in the afternoon sun. She pauses, looking toward the setup of chairs and flowers. Her hands tighten around the reins she's holding. Though her face isn't shown, the weight of her reaction is undeniable. A flash of Lou standing inside the kitchen clutching a letter. Her voice shakes. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" The paper crumples in her hand and the shot cuts quickly to black. The scene shifts again. A slow-motion shot of wedding decorations being placed. Candles lit, fabric swaying in the breeze, petals scattered across the aisle. It all looks beautiful, yet haunting. The narration grows stronger now, almost warning the viewer. A wedding is supposed to be a promise. But what happens when that promise is made against the will of those you love? When the future you choose feels like a betrayal to the family you've always known? The camera shows the bride's veil being lowered, her face hidden from view. The audience still doesn't know who it is. A sharp cut shows the groom adjusting his tie, his hands unsteady. Their identities remain secret, keeping the shock alive. Suddenly, the church bell tolls, slow, deep, and haunting. The sound carries across the fields, sending birds flying into the sky. The family gathers, each step toward the ceremony heavier than the last. The trailer flashes reactions quickly. A door slammed shut. Jack turning his head away. Amy's eyes filling with tears. Lou whispering angrily under her breath. Then the voiceover delivers the blow. This isn't the wedding anyone wanted, but it is the wedding that will change Heartland forever. The screen cuts to black. For a moment, silence. Then a single line of dialogue breaks through. Heartbreaking and haunting. "Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?" The music stops. The audience is left hanging, desperate to know who is standing at that altar. The screen fades back in with the sound of silence, so deep it almost feels louder than noise. The wedding aisle stretches ahead, petals scattered unevenly as if even the flowers hesitate to be part of what's about to happen. A soft wind pulls at the white ribbons, their gentle flutter sounding like whispers of warning. The camera focuses on details, not faces, a trembling hand clutching the bouquet. A groom's shoes shifting nervously in the grass. Jack lowering his head, removing his hat, not out of respect but out of sorrow. The voiceover is calm, almost too calm, making it even more chilling. At Heartland, love has always been a force of healing. But now, love may be the very thing that breaks them. The music begins as a slow heartbeat, With each beat, the trailer cuts faster. Lou's lips press tightly, holding back words that might shatter everything. Tim's voice in the distance shouting, "Stop! This can't happen." But the wedding continues. The bride takes a step forward, her veil moving gently with the wind. The screen reopens in silence, but not calm silence, silence heavy with broken hearts. The decorations remain in the field, abandoned. The chairs are empty now, their shadows stretching across the grass like ghosts of what just happened. A bouquet lies on the ground, crushed beneath someone's hurried footsteps. The petals are bruised, their beauty fading just as quickly as the family's trust. The voiceover speaks slowly, each word weighted. Every choice has a price. Every secret leaves a scar. And every wedding leaves behind a promise, whether it's kept or broken. The camera drifts across the ranch. Amy stands in the barn doorway, staring into the distance. Lou sits at the kitchen table, her hand covering her face as she tries to hold back tears. Jack walks alone across the field, his steps heavy, his shoulders low, as if the ranch itself feels smaller now. None of their faces are fully shown, only glimpses of emotion, the ache, the betrayal, the shock. Then the screen cuts quickly. A door left wide open, swinging in the wind. A horse running far into the horizon, symbolizing escape. A single letter lying on the table, its ink smeared by tears. The voiceover deepens, becoming almost a whisper. They thought they knew each other. They thought nothing could divide them. But this wedding has changed everything. And now the question remains, can Heartland survive what comes next? The music shifts. Soft piano notes this time, emotional but haunting. It doesn't rise in power. Instead, it sinks into the heart, leaving the audience with a feeling of loss. Yet within that sadness, there's a thread of hope, faint but undeniable. We see flickers of possible healing. Amy stroking her horse's mane, finding comfort in silence. Lou hugging Katie tightly as if holding on to what's left. Jack lighting a lantern on the porch, the glow pushing against the dark. The narration returns one final time, carrying both pain and promise. Heartland has always been about love, but love isn't always gentle. Sometimes it tests us, sometimes it hurts us, and sometimes it asks us to fight harder than ever before. The trailer closes with one last haunting line. This was the wedding no one expected, and the story no one will ever forget. The screen fades completely to black. Final text appears in bold, glowing letters, Season 19, Episode 1, The Wedding That No One Expected. Then a last call to action. Coming soon. Prepare your heart. The screen opens not with silence this time, but with the low rumble of thunder rolling over the Heartland sky. Dark clouds gather above the ranch, casting long shadows across the land. The wedding may be over, but its echo still lingers in every corner of the ranch, like an open wound that refuses to heal. The narration begins, deep and haunting. The wedding no one expected has ended, but its consequences have only just begun. The camera shows the ranch in fragments, horses restless, kicking at their stalls. The old house lights flickering in the night as if uncertain. A family dinner table left half empty, chairs pulled away in anger. The voiceover grows sharper. Bonds will be tested, loyalties will be broken, and choices made in secret will bring new battles to Heartland. Then the music rises again, faster this time, like galloping hooves. The trailer flashes glimpses of what's next, teasing without revealing too much. Amy riding hard through the fields, determination etched in her posture. Lou shouting across the porch, her voice shaking with fury. Jack staring into the fire at night, lost in thought. A mysterious new hand, unfamiliar, closing a door behind them. The audience is left questioning who else is involved. What else has been hidden? The narration continues, weaving mystery with promise. The wedding may have shocked everyone, but it was only the first step. The road ahead is filled with choices no one is ready to face. Forgiveness, or forever breaking apart. Love, or losing everything. Truth, or silence. The screen flickers again, showing pieces of Season 19 Storm. A fight in the barn, voices raised, a glass shattering on the floor. Someone leaving in the dead of night, suitcase in hand. A hug between two unexpected people, the kind that changes everything. A kiss, quick and secret, hidden from the rest of the family. The music halts suddenly. Silence. Then, a whisper cuts through. The wedding was only the beginning. The screen fades into a black void. then explodes with the Heartland logo. Text appears in bold, glowing white, Season 19, a new chapter. A new battle. A love that changes everything. The outro delivers the final line, calm but chilling. Heartland will never be the same again.